Well, hello there, and welcome to the wonderful world. Oh, wait, turn the volume down on that. We don't need that echo. Hello there, and welcome to the wonderful world of owning a 3D printer and trying to figure out why in the world it's not working correctly. So, a little bit of backstory. I have, well, technically, I've got an A1 over here that needs a replacement bed because of the recall. We've covered that. But I have two machines right here which are definitely not working correctly, and both of them are definitely extruder issues. Now, this is my Anchor Make M5C, and I don't know what it is, but every time this machine runs out of filament, every time, it gets a clog. And this last time it clogged, I couldn't get it unclogged. Man, I spent some time trying to get it unclogged. I cranked this thing up to 300 degrees Celsius, let it soak for about 5 minutes. Not budging. So we're going to replace the hot end. And hopefully, while we've got this thing apart, we're going to figure out why it keeps doing this. Because quite frankly, it's frustrating me to no end. So let's start by getting this thing apart. Should this thing... Hello? Hello? Well, let's start by figuring out how to move the hot end. It won't move when it was powered down. So I guess we're going to have to log into the app and move this thing manually. That's a bit annoying. Anchor Make. There it is. Yep. Go ahead and connect. No, I don't want to update firmware right this moment. Got a little bit of hot end damage to the back corner of the bed here. Come on, finish doing your thing. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and find the right, probably this one. Yep, that's the right size. You know, I told you to move up 50 millimeters. There we are. All right. I'm going to go ahead and power this down so I don't get a bunch of errors while I'm disconnecting things. One thing I really like about the Anchor Make here is how the power cord connects here. It's got plenty of strain relief. It's secured so it can't come undone easily, but it's also really easy to remove. That's literally USB-C female, and there's a USB-C male connection in there. It's really nice. All right, which of these do I need to remove? Two more? Okay, this should be the last screw here. Great. Now, how do I get this thing apart? If I get stuck on this, I'll pause and look up a guide on how you're supposed to do this, but generally speaking, I can find my way around these things without the need for help documentation. Not always, but quite often. One more right there. And disconnect that. Making sure I pull out all the screws. The last thing I need is for any of these to go missing. Okay, it's still there. All right. KK. So, yeah, I think I'm almost there. If I take out these two here, those seem to be a bit stuck. That's weird. There we go. One. And two. Now, I think that was definitely what was holding the hot end. I'll disconnect power and the thermistor, but it's still definitely in there, and it's not going to come out the bottom unless I get the fans out of the way. So, how do the fans dismount? Huh. How do the fans dismount? Very interesting. Well, when in doubt, just start pulling out screws until the what you want to fall out falls out. Am I right? Seems like sound logic to me. I meant to do that. Okay. Where is this connected at? It has. Or does, wait a minute, does this, oh, okay, I see. This whole thing drops out. All right. I didn't actually need to remove that piece. I do, however, need to remove this fan because this fan is definitely holding the hot end. I'm going to take a moment, unplug bamboo for a second. If I was changing a hot end on a bamboo, I would need exactly 1 Allen key. I've used 3, but to be fair to Anchor Make, I didn't need to remove this, so I technically didn't need that Allen key. However, I still require 2 Allen keys in order to remove the hot end on this. I mean, come on. These are kind of a pain to remove. They're in there something tight. All right, there we go. That is going to let the hot end come out. So, I don't know. It doesn't look like my clog is in the hot end itself. Oh. That might be the problem. Not sure. Well, if I use this so I can see what I'm showing you. Maybe if I turn on this little extra light thing here. How do I turn this thing on again? All right. Let's see if that helps at all. It helps a little bit. Right there between the 2 silver extruder gears, right in there, there's a big blob of plastic. And I'm not quite sure how we're going to get that out. All right. Okay, so I think that's clear now. I can see the camera through it. All right, I think I understand what happened now. This chunk of plastic here got wedged between the extruder gears and the hot end. It's too big to actually enter the hot end. And because it can't enter the hot end, it could never actually get down to the heat zone where it could be melted and purged back out. But because it also wasn't attached to anything, it couldn't be pulled out of the extruder. So this hot end is actually still fine. I've got this thing apart. I'm going to put the brand new hot end in anyway. But looks like we ought to be able to get it going. The sad thing is that I don't know why it keeps making a blob of plastic there, or how to prevent it from doing that, except for maybe don't let it run out of filament again. But on its own. I got this thing packaged in there. Can't get it out. Come on. Come on. Here, boy. Here, boy. Uh-oh. Oh, dear. What just happened? Did it break? Oh, come on. Come on. Is it supposed to do this? Maybe it's supposed to do this. Does this one do this? No, wait, there's... Huh? Hold on. It's missing screws. All right. There they are. Ah, look, I was wrong. You do need 3 drivers to change 3 different Allen keys to change the hot end. Absolutely ridiculous. It's also ridiculous that the brand new hot end doesn't ship with these 2 stupid little screws. Seriously, come on. How much extra money would that be? Like maybe a nickel? Maybe a nickel? You couldn't sacrifice a nickel in your budget and ship me a complete hot end? Oh, don't lose the screw. Don't lose the screw. So, in other news, guys, I see I lost the one person who was actually watching this. That's okay. That's okay, because they're going to miss out. Because I'm about to tell you, I've ordered a Prusa XL with 5 tool heads. It was pricey. It was, but I need the machine. The machine can do things that the Bamboos just can't do, and I need that capability for some projects that I have planned. But I figure while I have the XL here, you know, to me, it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges. It's not really something that should be compared, but there's a lot of people that seem to want to compare the XL with the Bamboo X1C for some reason. So, you know, I figure since I've got the 2 machines, I could do at least a small amount of comparison on the 2 machines. At least what's reasonable to compare. All right, here's the trick, guys. Can I get all the screws back into the correct positions again? I think I can. I think I can. Still not sure how to fix that blobbing issue, though. I guess for the time being, I just need to be careful about letting it run out of filament, or, you know, actually, there is one thing I could do to prevent getting blobs in this machine again. I could get rid of it. That's probably not the answer most of you want to hear, but technically that would fix the problem. Well, maybe not fix the problem, but it would make it so I'm not dealing with the problem anymore. In other news, what else is going on in 3D printing right now? So the XL, that's no longer in pre-order. If you didn't pre-order it, I managed to get into like the last week of the pre-order, or something like that. If you didn't pre-order it already, you missed out on some. How does this fan go back in? Let me. Oh, this. All right. You missed out on some of the freebies that Prusa was giving away for those who pre-ordered the machine. Something's not quite jiving here. There's another campaign going on that's very interesting. If you like Bambu, you'll find this 3D printer very interesting. I hesitate to mention them, however. It's Phrozen's new machine. Now, for those who don't know, Phrozen has been in 3D printing for a while now, but they've never made a filament 3D printer. They've only been in resin. Now, they're taking their first shot at making a filament printer right now, and it's very similar to a Bambu, or at least that's what somebody who really doesn't know what all the differences would say. So, the first thing that makes you think it's similar to the Bambu, it's the real attention getter that makes it stand out from the other printers, is they've got something extremely similar to the Bambu AMS, and I mean extremely similar to the Bambu AMS. That being said, the Bambu AMS, or the Bambu printer, is basically a Voron Trident, which I happen to think is an excellent printer. But the Phrozen Arco, that's Phrozen's new machine, is somebody at my door? It's very similar to a Voron 2.4, but it's definitely not a Voron 2.4, because the Voron 2.4 uses belts in the Z-axis, and their machine has lead screws. Yeah. So not a Voron 2.4, maybe some kind of, you could call it a hybrid Voron 2.4 Trident build, I guess might be the closest thing. But oh no, I dropped one. While the Bambu has a build volume of 257 millimeters cubed, the Phrozen Arco is going to have a build volume of 300 millimeters cubed. Supposedly, the reason I hesitate to mention it is because I've been following the campaign and the progress and the updates for a little over a week now. And, when I backed the project, I was thinking, when I backed the project, I was thinking that they were in beta, like mid to late beta, because that's the appropriate time to launch a Kickstarter campaign. But watching the comments, the information they have out, I get the feeling that they're alpha, maybe late alpha, but I definitely can't see them as being in beta testing anymore. And one thing that really bothers me, there's been plenty of Kickstarter campaigns that didn't do this, were successful, and delivered their product. So I'm not saying they can't be successful. I'm not saying they can't deliver their product, but they're not. They launched the campaign and they haven't put any of their machines in the hands of reviewers. And that's a mistake for two reasons. You see, Bambu put their machines in the hands of many reviewers, and it gave them a tremendous amount of success. Their campaign was something like $7 million USD. that's a lot of money for on a Kickstarter campaign. There's been some that are more, but I mean, that's pretty up there. But it's because they had, 50 YouTube influencers out there saying this machine is amazing. But not only that, those influencers were helping to find and diagnose and offer solutions to problems that the Bambu had before we got our machines. And all those units they sent out, you would think that they would find all of the shipping errors when they sent out the units to reviewers. However, once mass shipping began, Bambu had to make at least 2 packaging changes that I'm aware of to prevent the printers from arriving at our houses damaged. Phrozen hasn't sent out the review units. They've got no idea how their machine is going to survive shipping to all corners of the globe. And that's going to be a disservice to us. So, I mean, the more I follow the campaign, the more I want to back out of the campaign. I'm really hoping that they're going to come in strong towards the end of the campaign and blow me away and solidify my backing, but it's not looking promising. But we're making good progress on getting this back together. Hot end thermistor. I'm not sure what this is. I think this is some kind of heat sink. I'm not sure. Go ahead and get that plugged back in. Mm-hmm. So I'm really curious what we'll see 3D printing wise this year. I got some suspicions. Bambu's obviously been on the scene for roughly 2 years now, and where did those screws go? Oh, okay, wait, I remember where those screws go. So Bambu's been on the scene now for roughly 2 years, I guess. And Phrozen, I mentioned earlier that their multicolor system, which they're calling the Chroma unit, is extremely reminiscent of the Bambu AMS. And so one thing I think we're going to see this year is 2 or 3 other companies produce their own versions of Bambu's AMS. And that'll be really exciting. It's always exciting to see the various 3D printing bands actually striving to improve themselves and compete with each other instead of just racing to produce the cheapest printer they can possibly make. So I think we'll see that. Now, I dropped the screw again. Where did this one go? Another thing I think we're going to see this year, we'll definitely see this year. Where did these come from? What in the world? All right, where did my screw go? This is so aggravating. It was just here. I can't find the screw. I have no idea where that went. I wonder if this box came with a couple of, oh. You remember earlier when I was complaining that they didn't ship those two screws, and I was saying, what do they cost? Like a nickel. There's the two screws. All right, I retract my words. I'm sorry, Anchor Make. You did chip it, but I mean, it would have been nice if they were installed. I don't know where the screw went. Well, let me get these other screws installed before I lose them. Where did that screw go? Did any of you happen to see where that screw went? I mean, seriously. Yeah, I've got no idea. You know what? I'm just going to pretend like I got everything installed correctly, and you know, I think it'll be fine with 3 screws instead of 4. I'm sure that won't cause a problem. All right, this should be back in service once again. Great. So that was a bit easier. Well, I don't know. Maybe not easier than I was expecting. It was about what I was expecting, but the next printer, because I happen to think I know exactly what's wrong with the next printer, and if I'm right, it's going to be the harder one to fix. How? We'll just put this in here and save it for the next time I need a hot end. All right. Let's move on to the hard one here. What was that? Honey, was that you? Was that you? Was that it? That pop or thing? Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Just didn't know what that sound was. All right. So once again, I definitely have an issue with the hot end here. Now, I've had the, here's what it's doing. It's not actually grabbing the filament and pushing it through. Now, I can, when it's hot, I can manually push the filament through. I checked, so it's not clogged. And I've had this problem before with the Sprite extruder, so I'm almost certain I know what it is. There's a little, yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. So I guess let's just get it taken apart and see if I'm right or not. I have no idea what these big springs are for. I don't need to lose any more screws. I've got the screw loose. Alrighty. Let me think. I've dismantled this thing a number of times. I ought to have it figured out by now. Reality, I'm going to say the same thing I said to Anchor Make. I'm on 2 Allen keys. Are you going to make me pull a third to change a hot end? Bet you will. All right. Disconnect that and that. That'll let us slide this around. I will now burn this wire configuration into my head. Oh, wait, the wires are labeled. Never mind, that's not necessary. All right, set that there. Now, let me think. I think, yep, there's that other Allen I need to pull. All right, if I remember right, I have to remove this fan because there's screws under the fan. Yep, there's the screws under the fan. You know what? You're worse than Anchor Make. Not only do I need 3 different Allen keys to get into this thing, I have to switch back and forth between them just to get in. Another Allen key swap. What you do in Creality. I will say that I'm actually rather fond of this Sprite extruder, with the exception of how many Allen key swaps I need. And with the exception that if this is the problem I think it is, then it's the second time I've had this problem. So I don't much care for that either. But the overarching design of the Sprite extruder, I'm actually rather fond of that. All right. Let's see if I can get into this without it just exploding all over the place. Oh dear. I should have heated this up and tried to remove the filament first. This is gonna cause me some issues. I definitely should have tried to remove this chunk of filament first. Oh wait. Hello. Haha. Ha-ha. All right. I will figure out how all of this is supposed to go back together, but for the moment, huh, these are solid. I thought for sure this was going to be where the problem is. Now, now I'm wondering what in the world the problem was. No, that's solid. Okay, so the last time I had an issue, there was a problem. So this larger gear is supposed to be like, locked with this small gear so that when it turns, the small one turns. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, uh-huh. The problem was the last time I took one of these apart, they were like free spinning on each other. So, and that was the issue, but that doesn't seem to be the case this time. All right, how do I get this back together? Let's try and move some filament through here manually. Oh, crikey. All right. That's working. Yay. Let's get it back together and figure out why it's not working. Or maybe it'll just decide to spontaneously start working now that I've made a fool out of myself on live internet. Nope. Sure. What?
Daddy!
Hi.
Can you open the bar?
Of course I can. Bring it here.
Okay.
What do we say?
Please.
Yes, that's right. We do say please when we ask somebody to do something. And what do we say when somebody does something for us?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do. It comes after please, please, and
Thank you.
that's right. Good job. Oh, wait. Hey, could you go throw your trash away? Good boy. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of my boy. He's a good boy. You see how many times I have to switch this Allen key, right? Just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You're making this many units of printers. You couldn't have specialty ordered some bolts with different head size. Oh, wait. I should probably reconnect all of these wires. I imagine the hot end will have a hard time functioning if, the thermistor and the heating cartridge and the BL Touch. And I don't. Oh wait, no, this is the BL Touch. What did I plug in? Oh, that was the motor. So the motor and the BL Touch and the fan 1 and the fan 2. Yep, the hot end might have a hard time functioning if I don't plug all that back in. So all right, let's get the hot end heated up. Add a spool of filament here. And, oh dear. Yeah, Don't cross the wires. All right. Let me go grab a spool of filament. We're going to see if this thing's either working again or if it's still broken. What do I got? What do I got? Here we go. All right, let's set this thing to heat up. And as soon as I get it heating up, I'm going to take a break and go check on my youngest son who has started fussing in the other room. You want a popsicle?
Yeah.
I don't have any popsicles here. There's no popsicles here.
No, there is a popsicle in the refrigerator.
We'll check in just a moment, but I don't think we have any popsicles.
Or maybe just get out. Let me figure it out.
Come on. All right. All right, hot end's heating up.
So we're left in the refrigerator.
We do have a popsicle, huh?
We still have one more popsicle in the refrigerator left.
Yep, I can manually extrude this, so that's definitely working. So let's just try and feed, say, 20 millimeters. Unbelievable, it's working. It's working. You know, I honestly thought this one was going to be challenging because we're going to have to figure out a way to make those two pieces actually stick together again, but seemingly didn't have that problem here. Not sure why it was giving me that feeding trouble it was giving me. Anyway, that's going to be it, guys. The one or two of you that came and hung out with me for a little while, really appreciate you. Hoping to see more of y'all in the future. I really enjoy engaging with my audience and answering questions and chatting about stuff. It's fun. So see you around, guys.